In this video, I want to show you the 3 steps to create a killer Facebook ads creative testing structure in 2025 that works with the current algorithm. And it's exactly the same process that we have used for 35 plus clients from enterprise level to beginner brands. You can see this client here, we went from 0 to 3K a month in 90 days. This client here went from 618K to $1.12 million every single month. And the main problem that we find is that a lot of ad accounts are doomed from the get-go. They either look like this, where it's just a random amount of ad sets, poorly named campaigns, and these are killing your results because you don't have the data organized well. You might think, oh, let's just throw whatever at the ad account and hope it works. Also, having broken ad account structures that look like these may actually make you kill winners early. You might have an ad set with 5 creatives, one of them does well, but because you haven't organized it well or you don't understand the actual testing procedure, you might shut off the other ads thinking they're losers before they even get enough spend. By the way, if you want a PDF of this complete testing playbook so you can just look at it very quickly, you can click the link down below, you can get it all for free. It's the exact same framework that we give our clients that come to work with us to help them actually scale the ads that we make for them. So let me actually show you how we strategize and develop an effective creative test. So I'm a very visual guy, so let's start with this. So you want to start with testing 25 ads. We call this the punch phase. And the goal here is to actually verify signals. Before you even start thinking about scaling anything, you need to give Meta enough data so that it can actually know what to scale. And so you want to throw in completely different creative. I want to say different ads, I mean completely different ads. So one might be an us versus them, one might be a founder ad. They're all completely different, not a bunch of various different hooks, because if you're just starting out, you need to give the ad account a lot of different things so it can collect the data as to what resonates with your ideal buyer. We're not even going to think about ROAS. We're not in ROAS territory right now. You're looking at click-through rates. What kind of ads are taking people to your actual website? Remember, ads are a traffic mechanism. They're not the one thing that's going to make somebody completely buy. We want to look at hook rate, which is important if you're testing different creative. You want to see which ones are actually hooking the viewer. You might find some, though, that have very bad hook rates, but they're still getting people to buy. Forget ROAS, forget CPA. Like you might take a loss here, but the goal here is to get data. So now we're going to go into the next stage, which is you will find some of these videos from above that have very good click-through rates, have very good hook rates. So these are the early signal ads. Now don't scale these yet, because if you scale these, you're probably going to waste a lot of money. And this is what a lot of brands do. Instead, what you want to actually do is you want to stress test these ads. You want to test these ads with different audiences. So unlike here where we actually always test broad, now we want to actually test these ads with different audiences. A lot of brands make the mistake of starting super localized, super focused on like, I want 18 to 25-year-olds that are only using this specific software in the specific whatever. Like if you're a local market, sure. But anything further than that, let the creative do the targeting first. Once you have the early signals, then you can start trying different audiences to see this ad, and this ad works on different audiences, works when we actually be more precise. And what you're looking at here is you're going to find the ads, these 3 ads that will have a consistent result. So here we're looking for consistency, consistent click-through rates, right? Consistent CPAs. Again, not ROAS yet. We're not looking at ROAS. We're looking at consistent results, consistent clicks. If that is happening, then you're in a good stage. And you probably will only find a few of these ads that actually have consistent results. And those are the ones you can actually increase spend and put into a scaling campaign and actually grow them. And then once these ones start to taper off, then you're going to be creating variations of these with different hooks, different bodies, different call to actions, and make the variations. And that is the push stage. That is where you actually push the ads through scale. And now you're looking at ROAS. And now you're optimizing for ROAS if that's your main goal. Good CPAs, shutting the ones off that are not going to be good winners. And here you're going to have to start tracking a very important metric when you get to this stage before you make new ads, and it's called your ad hit rate. And that's going to be how many of the ads that you make actually become winners. But you're probably wondering, you said a lot of things, click-through rate, ROAS, metrics, organization. How do you actually do that? Well, we start by firstly creating your Facebook ad account to become a dashboard. So let me show you how you actually set these numbers up. Okay, so we're going to set up the custom columns from scratch. So I have an ad account here. So the first thing that you do is you actually click here in the columns. You might be using some of the popular pre-made ones. Just go all the way down to customized columns. Then in here, you're going to follow the order from the sheet. So just split screen it if you want. But essentially what I like to do is I like to have right at the top is going to be the budget, followed by delivery, followed by amount spent, followed by the results. Stuff like actions, this you don't really need. You don't need reach, views, frequency later. You will have cost per result, right? And this will, depending on your result, whether it's sales or whatever. And then you're going to have ROAS. If you don't have ROAS, you will come in here and you will search ROAS. And you're looking for purchase ROAS. So you click here, you untick these two, and you're just going to get purchase ROAS. So we're going to just move that underneath cost per result, followed by the click-through rate. So we might already have it here, click-through rate, CTR all. If you're unsure what click-through rate, because there's so many. Okay, so click-through rate all is the one that you're looking at right at the beginning. So it's the early indicators, because click-through rate all basically counts any click anywhere on the ad, whether someone clicks the like button, someone clicks the comment button, someone clicks the save button, even just clicks the ad to play it. That's a click-through rate all. Very important at the beginning to see which ads do people actually interact with. The link click, this becomes very useful because it measures the intent of the viewer. This is how many people click the link of the ad to go to your website. This is very important afterwards when you're looking at consistency in the second stage. The outbound click-through rate measures clicks off Meta, so going to the Shopify store. This is more aligned with the purchase journey. So this is the ones that click and take you up somebody somewhere else, very similar to click-through rate, very similar to the link. The unique click-through rate is the percentage of unique people who clicked anywhere on your ad. So this filters out multiple clicks by the same user. The most important one, I would say, is unique outbound click-through rate. But this one only matters when you are at the scaling stage. All these other ones, you're just trying to get signals. And so I will start with click-through all, then I'll look at link click-through rate, and then I'll optimize for unique outbound click-through rate. And if that's still complicated, just follow these. If you're doing creative hook testing, look at click-through rate all. If you're testing different offers, look at link click-through rate. If you're doing landing page testing, you need outbound click-through rate. And for scaling campaigns, unique outbound click-through rate and the ROAS. Next, we're going to create a custom metric called hook rate. Now, you might see it here, but if you don't have it, just to be safe, you want to do 3-second video plays. Then you're going to divide it by impressions. Okay. And you're going to name this hook rate just so it's easier and you understand what it's about. It's about the hook. And the format is going to be a percentage. And you can do here, you can add a description if you want, but it doesn't matter. So you're going to create the metric here. And then you're going to click it so that it gets added on. Then you're also going to do hold rate. So this one is going to be video plays at 50% divided by impressions. If you write it, it can actually come up. So impressions, and this is going to be a percentage. I'm going to call this hold rate. So out of the impressions you get, how many people are watching up to 50% of the video, which is very, very important. Okay, so now you have pretty much all the basics down. The other things you can add is, if you want to track it, you can add something like add to carts. So if it's something that's important to you to know how many people added to cart. One thing that's definitely very important is the comments. So post comments, because you can go into the comments, you can see what people say. You can use those comments to then use it for content, for hook ideas, for whatever. So definitely a great thing. So you can add any other custom metrics that you think are going to be important to you. But this is pretty much it. And then what you want to do is you want to click save as column preset, and you want to name it whatever you want. Typically, we just name it creative testing, and you click save. And then you have it. It's right here in creative testing. And there's a specific reason why we have this, is because when you are testing loads of ads and loads of creative, there's a lot of metrics you need to look at. So say, for example, in this one here, we're running a lot of different ad creatives. So I can immediately see, okay, how much was spent. So I can organize it based on spend. So which ads are Meta sending spend to. I can look at the results. Okay, this is getting good spend and it's getting good results. The cost per result is healthy. Okay, cool. If there's a ROAS, depending on the tracking. Then there's a ROAS scores, click-through rate. I know how many people are actually clicking something in the video. Hook rate, this one has a strong hook, but this one has the strongest hook. So we need to make sure we reuse this hook for other stuff. Hold rate is how many people are watching the video. So this one clearly was very engaging. Link clicks, all of this stuff. All of that stuff is a lot less important, but it's still valuable that we can have. So hope that makes sense. And now you know how to set up your columns. So now you have your dashboard set up. You understand your metrics. What about naming convention? I'm going to show you the exact naming convention that we use. Objective, test/scale, theme, offer, month. So for example, CBO, test, pain relief, May 2024. So that's for the campaign. For the actual ad set, so where you have the ads, you do the audience type, the targeting, the hook, the angle, and the budget if it's ABO. So for example, you can do broad, none, founder story, or lookalike audience, 180 site, UGC reaction, 20. And also with every single format, we add the size. So S is for square, V vertical, P portrait, C carousel, and S static. So there's some examples of what it look like, and just keeps things very, very organized. Now I'm going to show you how you actually set up your ad structure. It's probably better if I just use a nice visual though. So I will start with the CBO. If you're in ecom, CBO makes the most sense because here you want to just basically throw all of your ads and have them compete with each other. ABO is good if you are somebody that's a lot more diligent and you're on your ad account all the time. That being said, especially at the beginning stage, we're just going for signals. So CBO makes the most sense, at least in 2025. So you want to create your CBO campaign, website purchases, sales, $150 to $250 a day if you're starting. The more ad spend you have, the quicker you can get results. So let's say you need results quickly and you need to find out what's working quickly. You can make this, 500 a day, and rather than waiting a whole month, you can just do it in 2 weeks. You can have a look at a 2-week period. Whereas with this, you're kind of waiting for the whole month to know everything. And you have the ad set. So you want to do broad, all genders, no interest, 1 day click, 7 day click through, 7 day click. I'll usually do just like a 7 day click view. For most ecom, this makes sense. So you have each ad set with the different ad variations here. So in the ad sets, you have the ads. You want to have 6 ads per ad set, and you only add the ads when the ads start to, so you have 25 ads. Then sometimes maybe this one, and this one might be getting the most spend. And so until everything gets at least 1.5 times your average order value, you don't shut it off. It might be the case that like most of these ads get the most spend, but it might get to a point where then these ones stop working, and so now this one's gonna get more spend. But if you shut it off too early, you might have just wasted a potential winner from having a chance to actually win. So please don't do that. Also, you want to unify the following: the same call to action, the same landing page, the same event, the same headline primary description between the ads. The only thing that is different is the ad itself. Do not make different ad sets for different websites, for different audiences all in one. You're just testing creative. You're just getting signals. Please just do that. I swear, this is what's working right now. I would avoid dynamic and flexi ads. For ecom, if you're doing lead generation, then yes, you can do dynamic and flexible, but that's just a preference that I have personally. Okay, so here's an example of an ad account that it was very disorganized. You had a whole bunch of different ad creative namings. And so here, if you wanted to look back on, we don't really know what these videos are. We don't really know like why they work. Sure, we got results and we did find some winners here. Okay, so you have JC USB, but what actually is it? What skits is it? What actually is it? And it's very hard to look back at the creative in retrospect, especially when you have some months and some weeks went past, to know what to actually change. And so it was very important to keep organized. So here's a different example where we actually have an ad account that is a lot more organized. Each creative here, we know the name, we have the actual code of the video, and so we know what's actually organized here. And so it's easy for us to then go, cool, this creative here, this is the one that did some good results. Let's actually change the hook for it. So when we make the new hook for it, we have the same naming convention, and that's how we know that's the test that we are doing. Now look, creative testing is just one part of scaling meta ads past the 10K dailies. You also need a fresh flow of creatives weekly to prevent ad fatigue. So if you run an e-commerce brand, let me personally teach you how to actually create your own ad creative systems using the ones that we have used inside our agency. By joining our school community where you learn our exact deep research protocols so that you can understand your buyer and know exactly what they want, steal our ad creative concepts that have worked for all of our clients, as well as our briefs that have had hundreds of thousands of dollars in spend. You get exclusive access to my video editing community where you can actually hire your own video editors, and access to my UGC community of vetted and pre-trained UGC creators, so you don't have to surf on Billo or Influee and get subpar performance from your ads. So click the first link in the description if you want to join. Otherwise, check out this video where I show you how to make ad creatives so good that people can't stop buying.